Hello everyone, I'm Joseph Giunta, the music director and conductor of the Des Moines Symphony, and welcome to the Listening Room. Now today I'm going to speak about our next concert, which is our season finale, and it's going to be performed on May 17 and 18 in the Civic Center. This program begins with a delightful overture written in 1832 by Felix Mendelssohn's sister, Fanny Henderson Mendelssohn. Her music was primarily written for voice and piano, and this is actually her only orchestral work for full orchestra. It's a beautiful piece that features the wind section especially, but also some nice string writing, and it shows off her ability to use the full symphony orchestra. It's a very happy piece, and it's full of buoyancy and energy, and it ends with quite a flourish. And the next piece that we're going to play is by Fanny Mendelssohn's brother, Felix, the famous Felix. Felix Mendelssohn wrote quite a bit of music, including 5 symphonies, and we're going to play his 4th symphony that's appropriately nicknamed the Italian, since it was inspired by the 9 months that Mendelssohn visited Italy when he was in his early 20s. Now the piece shows off this incredibly unbridled joy and contagious spirit of the Italians. In the first movement, there's a dance in 6/8 time that's very similar to a tarantella, which is, of course, a celebratory Italian dance. The second movement was inspired by Holy Week when he visited Rome, and he obviously had witnessed maybe as much as several dozen processionals during this special time of the year. And the second movement is primarily a processional that starts in a distance and then gets closer and closer and then just dies away. The third movement harkens back to the minuets and trios of Mozart and Haydn, but it's a little bit more singing and lyric than the composers that came before him. And the finale movement is just that. It's a rousing finale. It's based on an Italian dance called the Saltarello. It's very wild and enthusiastic, and if you ever watch anybody dance the Saltarello at an Italian wedding, there's lots of leaps and jumps and just a wonderful, enthusiastic appreciation and athletic ability of this dance. Now, on the second half of the program, we have the renowned American pianist George Lee. He's going to join us for his interpretation of the French composer Camille Saint-Saëns' Second Piano Concerto. Now, George was the recipient of the Avery Fisher Career Grant in 2016. He was also a silver medalist of the 2015 International Tchaikovsky Competition. George has performed with many of the great orchestras of the world, including the Berlin Philharmonic, the New England, the Boston Symphony, and many, many others, including the Cleveland Orchestra. Now, in 2019, George completed the Harvard New England Conservatory dual degree program with a bachelor's degree in English literature and a master's degree in music. He also has an artist diploma from New England Conservatory. Now, the piece that George will play with us has a lot of variety, and it starts with similarities and kind of an homage to J.S. Bach. It starts just with the piano only. The second movement is a sprightly and quite gentle dance. And the third movement is just a tour de force for orchestra and for pianists as well. And this brilliant dance brings the piece to a really rousing and exciting conclusion. Some music scholars have attached the phrase "from Bach to Offenbach," and I think that sums up the piece wonderfully. It states not only the seriousness of purpose of the music of Johann Bach, but also the frivolity and excitement that a piece by Offenbach might have. And then our season finale will conclude appropriately with one of the most familiar and effective pieces of all classical music. It's called The Pines of Rome, and it's by Ottorino Respighi. And this piece really displays the composer's talent for orchestration in a big time way. I happen to think that he's the most brilliant orchestrator of the 20th century. His writing is very evocative, it's beautifully crafted, and it's just completely full of emotion. The piece is in 4 movements, but it's also played without a break. So the first movement suggests children playing in a pine grove in the Villa Borghese. The second movement is called takes place in the pine area near a catacomb, and it's very mysterious and serene and quite suspenseful. The third movement, the Pines of the Janiculum, includes evening sounds, and it includes in those sounds authentic singing nightingales that are so prevalent in Italy. And finally, the Pines of the Appian Way. This is a dramatic and noble Roman army early in the morning marching down through lanes of pine trees, and it's a wonderful distinction that as the army gets closer and closer to the city, the music gets louder and louder and ends with a great flare of sound. It even has some antiphonal sounds that we place in the audience to give a surround sound kind of atmosphere. It's one of the great finales in all of music history, and this is a concert that you are not going to want to miss. So join us in the Civic Center on May 17 at 7:30 or May 18 at 2:30 for the final concerts of the Des Moines Symphony's 24-25 season. And please click on the link below to hear some of my favorite performances of the pieces that I just spoke about. Thank you for listening, and I look forward to seeing you at the Symphony.